Hello Power Rangers Dino Fury fans, and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today we're going to be doing a little review of the first wave of basic figures for Power Rangers Dino Fury, which have just basically recently come out on Amazon, and they have already been found for a little while in Targets and stuff around the country, so they should be trickling out here a little bit more easily in the next couple of weeks and such. But they are becoming more consistently available on Amazon, so you can get them there, which is where I got all of mine. Now this wave has 4 figures in it. These are of course the $10 basic figures. These are not Lightning Collection or anything like that, but the wave consists of our original trio of Dino Fury Rangers, red, blue, and pink, as well as our villain Boomtower. So I do have pink, obviously. She's right here at the end of the lineup here. I just have not opened her yet and figured it'd be a good opportunity to show one of the figures in the packaging. The final one that arrived, and I hadn't opened her yet because I figured might as well wait for the review, was Amelia's. She took the longest to get here for whatever reason. She just was like never going in stock on Amazon, but she finally did. So as you can see, they all come with one of the Dino Fury keys, which we will be looking at them in the Dino Fury Morpher. And of course they come with their weapons, and there's her artwork up there, and what she looks like at the back, and showing that you can use it in the Dino Fury Morpher, which of course we will. So just wanted to do this real quick picture of her here, and let's get her open and look at all the figures and what they do. Alright, so here is our full wave out of the package, and they are overall looking very, very nice. If you were wondering, I have these currently standing on because I get questions about these a lot. These are Hasbro Pulse stands that they sell in 3-packs on Hasbro Pulse. They're perfect for Lightning Collection figures, and they work very well for basic figures too. They peg right into the holes there at the bottom, and I love these stands quite a bit. So let's go ahead and take a look at Zato here. So overall, these figures are very, very nice. If you have, as I kind of just stick the sword in your face there, if you have the Beast Morphers basic figures, you basically, get what you're getting with this. So for comparison though, here is the basic Beast Morphers red figure that came out in 2019. As you can see, practically the same idea of the mold here between the two figures, which makes sense. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of things. So you get, obviously you're not going to get like Lightning Collection level articulation here, but the heads are on a ball joint, so they can look all over the place, and they're a little tight, but you can make them look all over the place. The arms can go full 360. You can bend it there at the shoulder, and then they rotate here at the elbow, and bend at the elbow. No hand movement or anything like that. And then the legs can kick forward and back a tiny bit. They can rotate here at the knee and bend at the knee, and then they can move outward like that. And that's it. That's all they can do. But I mean, it's still a pretty good range of motion, I would say. One downside with all of these figures is that in the show, they very much use the Chroma Fury Saber, which is our name for the Russo Caliber. And so it's kind of like, or the Russo Ken. It's very strange that we don't get that with these figures. Instead, we get these original weapons that are exclusive to the figure. We have no indication of these showing up in the show whatsoever. And Zato gets this sword weapon, which is like, it's fine, but I don't understand why we don't have the Russo Ken. I feel like most people would want the Russo Ken. I don't mind these original weapons if they were going to be in the show, but there doesn't seem to be any indication that they're going to be in the show. So it's like, well, why do we have these, Ollie's figure is basically, just Zato but blue, which, I mean, of course it would be. He comes with these Triceratops, what are they, size, I suppose? So you do get 2 of them, one for each of the hands there. And, but for the most part, I mean, it is just the Zato figure painted blue, which it should be, so that's not a complaint or anything. What is a complaint was the helmet. So they messed up on the helmet. In a weird case, they didn't mess up in terms of having, like, not enough paint. They have too much paint. So taking a look at the figure's packaging, you can see on the show, the area between the silver here is all blue. And on the back, it's correct on that 3D render. So just look at that area, get that memorized right there. They painted the whole thing in silver. Like, there's this entire area right here should be all blue. Instead, they just painted the entire top of his head silver, which like doesn't look horrible, but when you see it, then you like can't unsee it. You know what I mean? Like it's really noticeable once you know that it's there, and it kind of makes this figure. I mean, honestly, because of that, it's my least favorite figure in the wave, because the figures are very just good and passable as it is. That when you have something as major as that, it does kind of ruin it, you know? So, but I mean, it's just weird. I don't understand how that even happened in the first place for them to add more paint than they needed to add. So, looking at Amelia here, though, she uses the female mold very, very similar to Beast Morphers Yellow from that whole line. So it is a little bit more of a slender body mold, of course, but you still get the regular paint applications, and she can do the same amount of articulation. There are little slits in her skirt, so she can still have the proper leg movement, even though, I mean, it does get in the way of it going forward a little bit because it is like a rubbery plastic, but you can still get the kicking motion, which is really, really nice. She comes with like this ankylo mace weapon, which is cool. I like it. It looks maybe like it can move or something, but it doesn't. It's just this solid piece. But just like, I would say that my favorite weapon is probably Ollie's sai, but Amelia's mace is pretty cool. Not gonna lie there. But her helmet is all correct and all good as far as I can tell. It looks accurate enough to me. I guarantee you we'll probably get green in the female mold, even though in the Sentai footage green is a male. We'll probably get green, but to be accurate, hopefully it doesn't have a skirt. It should be a male or a female figure without a skirt if they want to be accurate with it. But there's no listings for green yet. No listings for green or for black. So they've got to be doing them, I would imagine. But we actually know what at least half of Wave 2 will be, and green and black are not in there yet. So, but I'm sure they will be. And then our final figure is an interesting one. So in the Beast Morphers line, first of all, the Beast Morphers line had 5 figures in its first wave. You had red, blue, yellow, and then you had 2 villains. You had Cyber Villain Blaze, and you had Electronic. Now this wave, they decided for Dino Fury just to go with 4 figures instead of, 5 figures. And I feel like if we would have had a 5th figure, it would have been a henchman. Hopefully we get henchmen. I like building little armies of foot soldiers, so... But our kind of token villain spot is going to be Boomtower here. He's a really good sculpt. Hasbro has really been knocking it out of the park with the sculpting on their villain figures. So, like, honestly, if I would totally understand wanting to maybe pass on the Rangers, hoping that they'll eventually get a Lightning Collection release or something. But if you need villains for your Lightning figures, get these basic villains. They're very good. Obviously, they are lacking in the paint and especially in the articulation. But this is fantastic. So, Boomtower here, you just take a look at all of his sculpting here. Like in the chest there, and on the back is very nice sculpting with the castle pieces at the top, and his big sword. Oh, I mean, it's really cool. He does have these stickers on his shoulder pads, which I wish were just kind of not stickers, but I don't really know what they would have done with that pattern. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of there just being stickers on the figure, but it's fine. His articulation, his head, it budges. I think it can move. It doesn't really. Oh yeah, it can. Okay, I finally got it to. So it can move, but I mean, to what end? I mean, he's kind of just looking at himself there. So, basically stationary. His arms do wrap all the way around, but they do get caught right there with the crown piece. And so you can't do it all the way. You can still spin here. You don't have that forward motion there, but you can spin there and at the elbow. And then the legs are a lot more prohibited than the Rangers. They can't go outward, but these can rotate here still. And he can bend them at the knee. So, and then they can go forward. So you can have him like that, I guess, if you want. Although it is a little tight there. So, but yeah, I mean, that's basically all you got going on with Boomtower. I mean, I think he's cool. He's one of those things where it's like, you probably won't be getting a Lightning Collection version of him, especially anytime soon. So if you want a good figure to fight your Lightning Rangers or Dino Fury Rangers, Boomtower is perfectly good. We will be getting Void Knight in Wave 2. So if you want, because Boomtower hasn't appeared in the show yet at the time of this recording, but the episode descriptions kind of list him as one of Void Knight's generals, so I'm sure he'll be important in the show. But Void Knight is our current main villain, and he will be in Wave 2 alongside Gold. and hopefully green and black as well, although I don't see why they wouldn't be. So like I said, each one of these comes with a Dino Fury key, which is our current gimmick. So as of right now, the only way to get Dino Fury keys is very much like what they did last year and in 2019 with the MorphX keys, where each figure is packaged with a MorphX key that the Morpher can read. So they are obviously based off of the Ryusols from Ryusoldier. So, but they're definitely more simplified. So here is a Ryusol. Here is the corresponding Ryusol. This is the Japanese release from Ryusoldier. Now, obviously in the show and in Ryusoldier, they have this Dino mode, and then you flip it to the Ranger mode. You even see that very vividly in the show. Obviously, the Dino Morpher keys, the Dino Fury keys, do not work like that at all. They have this holofoil sticker on them compared to just like the raised detail on there. So that's interesting. On the back here, the Ryusols had a Megazord head for Kishirio, and they do have the mecha head back there because we've seen recently in the February 12th Fan First Friday that these are going to be compatible with the Zords, so you will be able to give Megazords new heads using the Dino Morpher keys, which is not so much that great for red, pink, and blue, since you'll get that like the proper Zord Ryusols or power keys with those Zords. But it is really cool with Boomtower, because Boomtower has a custom Boomtower head back there that you'll be able to give to your Megazord. So that would be really cool when the Megazord does come out, for it to have a Boomtower head, or really like any head of any villains that we get that aren't just Rangers, because for the most part we will get proper like more transformable power keys with the Zords. So now of course these do work in the Dino Fury Morpher, so we'll go ahead and take this one out. This is just the basic key that the Morpher comes with, and then make sure it's on, and then find the little slot up there. So this is Red's key. So for the most part, it just does fire noises, nothing too fancy there. So his is the gravity key. So they are all going to kind of try to be like versions of the different effect keys from the show. I don't even know what that's supposed to be, to be honest. Is hers the gravity key? I thought his was the gravity. No, I thought his was the gravity key. I don't know anymore. So, but that's that sound that pink does. Well, I guess we have to do it now. Boomtowers is the fart key. Yep. How flattering. Alright, here is a comparison I figured people would want to see our 4 Dino teams, since we do have the original first 3 Dino teams in the Lightning Collection, and now we have Dino Fury in the basic line. So of course we have Mighty Morphin Red, Dino Thunder Red, Dino Charge Red, and Dino Fury Red. So lots and lots of dinos here. And obviously you can kind of see here from the figures that the Lightning figures and the basic figures are, for the most part, in the same scale. Like, there's really nothing too different about them in scale, but just to kind of put them standing right next to each other, they are practically the same size. So they do scale very nicely if you're trying to do a Lightning Collection display or a basic figure display with Lightning Collection mixed in. You aren't going to be going wrong with picking up the basic figures, which is really cool that Hasbro has done that. Basically, the $10 difference between Lightning and Basic is just because the Lightning obviously comes with a lot more. It is more better detailed and articulated and everything like that. But the Basic are definitely something you shouldn't sleep on. And then also for scale here is a Lightning Collection figure with the basic Boomtower. So you can see that the villains are also very much just in basically the same scale. So, like I said earlier, if you want to buy basic villains to fight Lightning figures, I think that would work very, very nicely, which would be even better if we could get a henchman, so we can actually do some army building for the Lightning figures to fight. So that's all I really have for the first wave of Dino Fury basic figures. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys would like to check out other videos on my channel, I put up a review recently of the first 3 episodes of Dino Fury, which are the only 3 that have aired as of the time of this video. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at 2 different places, at Livid Ranger Key or at LightningFigPR. And until next time, everyone, I'll see you on Toku Topics. Tokusatsu forever.